Hello everyone, my name is PolishLynx and we are back with Narcissu. We'll see what will happen. It really begins to be a little scary because the girl starts to talk about killing yourself in the water, which I don't want to happen actually. Probably it would come to picking between the 7th floor and home. It seems no one has escaped that. Those were words the girl had once passed to me, and the girl was on her second. Had said that she wanted neither home nor the 7th floor. Already, it was after she had passed it to me. Already, her task was over. That was why I thought it meant that. Who knows, I've never drowned before. Then if, right now, I were to go into the sea, would you stop me? Yes, I would stop you. While speaking, she turned around and looked at my face, placing the moon floating in the pitch-black sky to her back. The gaze that was always looking at some faraway place was looking straight at me. I don't know, not until that time. Just stop her. And then, turning her back to me, once again facing the sea, she slowly started walking. Hey, you. What? Is it that you want me to stop you? Just stop her instead of asking stupid questions. At my words, the girl stopped just a few steps before the breaking waves. The strong wind missed up the spray from the waves striking her feet. If you want me to stop you, I'll stop you. Just stop her. Not particularly, it's not that. Then I don't have to stop you, right? Damn it, he's so dumb. For that question also, there was no reply. However, the feet that stopped did not go further. That was why I thought that was her reply. A high sky that could only be found in winter. Stained heart-wrenchingly blue with a strong wind that whistled across the elevated rail line. Reflecting the blue sky was the metallic hood of the running silver coupe. I was gripping the steering wheel and the girl sat in her usual way in the passenger seat. Thank God she's alive again. Where this was I didn't know, but as a more real problem in moments we are going to run out of gasoline. From the start we hadn't had that much money, but from purchases and convenience store our remaining funds were even less now. Now there was only 7,000 yens. That's okay, I don't know how much is it for living in the Japan, right? Yens are in Japan, I think. Of course, for this car I didn't know how many liters it took, but I thought we probably had enough to fill the tank once. It wasn't as if we had a destination or anything, but losing our legs would mean that we would be stuck. I'll go get some gas. I see. While speaking, I turned the wheel and headed toward the gas station in front of us. Well, welcome. Will it be credit card or cash? With cash. Will it be regular or high octane? Regular high octane. I didn't really understand, of course, when it came to this car. There were lots of things that I didn't know. But since I had only just gotten my license, I knew very little about this sort of thing in general. Oh crap. Which shall it be? I hesitated to speak with while the part-time clerk waited for my answer from the other side of the window. And just when I was about to say it didn't matter, the girl in the passenger seat spoke. Regular. Yes, regular. Yes, regular. Cash. Full tank. If that be alright. Yes, please. Yes, certainly. With a cheerful reply, the attendant began to skillfully use the gasoline pump. From the window open about 10 centimeters came the distasteful smell of gasoline. Say, regular is fine for this. At the question, the girl remained silent. Instead, she quietly pointed at the price listing on the pump. Of course, this was the cheaper one. I didn't really know much about this, but I didn't think there was that much difference. And then, there was the meter on the gas pump before my mind reporting the amount used. 25, 6, 27, 28. The digital display was counting out furiously. Did I screw up? Looking at those numbers, I began to get nervous. Just before I had wound up saying full tank on a whim, but the amount of money we had on hand wasn't all that much. Putting together all the change, it was about 70,000. Of course, I had no idea how large this car's tank was. If there wasn't enough money, what would happen? Going by the price list shown, I believed we had enough for about 60 liters, but 38, 39, 40, 41. Even now, the meter was counting up without slowing down. Under normal conditions, it would have been something I wouldn't have worried about, but as I continued watching, I grew more and more nervous. Damn it, it's still going. Before I knew it, the walls tumbled out. It's okay, it will stop now. This is a 50 liter. Just as you said, when the meter was between 47 and 48, it stopped. Following that, the sound of a receipt being printed ran out, and once again the part-time clerk came back. Sorry for the wait, it comes to 5,240 yens. Crap. Is that much? Here. From my pocket I took out and handed over a 5,000 bill with a crumpled 1,000 bill. Here is your change of 760 and your receipt. Thank you very much. Putting the clerk's bright voice behind us, I once again pulled the car onto the road before us. Once again the silver coupe ran. With this, I felt the urgent fear of the gas tank to be gone for the moment, and our remaining funds was just about 2,000 yens. I was also worried about that, but I was also curious about what happened just before. Hey, are you... Could it be that you know a lot about cars? Not particularly. Not particularly, didn't you just say this was a 50 liter before? Of course, this much might just have been a guess or something that was common knowledge. However, previously the girl also knew about the roads. All snogged by the fact I took out the car registration on the dashboard. You would of course know this car's name, right? Is that a question? Well, you can think of it as a quiz. Integra Type Coupe. It's a nice car. That's correct, and the specs. 99 model, 5-speed transmission, maximum output, 200 horsepower. I hadn't thought that she would really answer. My eyes couldn't help but follow the words on the registration in my hand as the girl flatly continued speaking. Total length, 4,380mm, total width, 1,695mm, general displacement, 1,797cc. You want me to go on? No, that's enough. Correct. As I applied the registration to its place, unbelievably all the specs were exactly as recorded. It was very much something that I didn't think could be memorized. If asked by someone, I could begin to imagine. But right before my eyes, the girl answered. Moreover, considered the roads and flowers from before, I could believe that she knew about a wide variety of things. Hey, why do you know so much? No particular reason, it's because I am older than you. With just that answer, once again the girl fell silent. Gazing out the window, she didn't give off an air that she would answer any new questions I raised. Older. It really didn't look it, but those were also the girl's words from before. Name, Satsumi, blood type 0. Those were the words written on her white vinyl bracelet. And that she seems to be older, that was the little information I knew of her. When the sun was slowly setting, the silver coupe continued running. Without a destination, without a place it needed to go to, just simply moving forward. The issue of gasoline was fine, but the remaining money had mostly disappeared. Even counting the change, it was about 2000 yens. Thinking in terms of buying meals at convenience stores, it would last about 3 or 4 days. Hey, what should we do from now?
質問の意味がわからない。
Don't understand the meaning of your question. I mean, we don't have much money left.
だから
And so, the girl was as she always had been. She spoke while bringing the nigiri jazz bowl from the convenience store to her mouth. And also, just by continuing to drive like this, without a doubt, the gasoline was being used up. In reality, doing nothing, just standing still, might have been better. However, doing nothing, being unable to do anything, just staying still, was painful. While thinking that, I kept driving. From previous experience driving on the smaller roads, it was about just 3 days before the gasoline ran out. The remaining 2000 yens used to buy food from the convenience store was also 3-4 days probably. Clearly, the end of things was coming into sight. Hey, you. That place, Awajishima, was it you want to go there? Yes, she wants to go there. There was no reply. Just the usual gazing out the window as always. I might want to go a bit, maybe. Why? Well, that's... Of course, from the start we hadn't dashed out of the 7th floor with goals or plans. That's why for me, going west, east or wherever it was, it didn't matter. I was sure any place would have been fine, I just wanted some goal or destination. When the day completely turned into night, I was in some pachinko parlor's parking lot. Of course, I wasn't planning on making money off pachinko or slots. With this measly 2000 yens, I knew I didn't stand a chance. However, if it were just 10 or 20,000 yen, it should be easy to steal that much. That was from my previous travels through pachinko parlors, my guess. With just that much, for the moment it would be fine, and from that, we might even be able to get to that Awajishima. That was why I spoke about my plan to the girl. How about it? Want to try?
Yeah.
No. I see. Alright. It was what was expected, but I was plainly refused. From the start, it wasn't as if I was expecting anything from the girl. It wasn't as if I had sought out her help. Explaining my plans to her was more like a declaration. Well then, wait a bit. Leaving her in the car, I walked towards the pachinko parlor alone. Inside the unexpectedly crowded shop, there were a number of machines, ball dispensers, and a fair amount of people. Here and there were also a number of stacked cash boxes. It might be just right. Making that decision, I headed toward the slot corner that was my target. After a while, scouting from the aisles from the examined area, I found one machine. Some middle-aged man who definitely looked like an office worker had stacked 4 boxes by his feet, and above his head had another 2 stacked. Moreover, it was a corner machine and the neighboring machines were empty. From what I had seen from before, he also didn't seem to have come with friends or acquaintances. The conditions were lined up. Most likely, in that state, even if one box by his feet were stolen, he wouldn't notice right away. If it was like similar shops, it would be worth some 20,000 yens. If he had just that, I simply waited intently for the office worker, a person, to head to the restroom. Eventually, when 30 minutes had passed, finally the man stood up from his seat. Quickly following after, I went to the restroom to make sure. Then in a rush I quickly turned on the slot machine. Next, while checking the people who were playing the slots and the shop staff, I slowly approached the machine. Then, in order to avoid suspicion, acting perfectly natural, I pulled up a cash box at my feet. Crash. At that instant, a tremendous sound raised and the coins scattered on the floor. Pulled it up, was the plan. No, certainly, I raised it up, once with these hands. However, unable to support the weight, I wound up dropping the entire box on the floor. And then all eyes looked over, wondering what caused the loud racket. I thought I heard the sound of voice, felt the presence of people running over. However, those voices were heard from behind me. Already, by that time, I was 2 meters in front of the shop exit. Bang. Starting the engine in the crash, I slammed on the gas. Turning the wheel, I hurriedly pulled the car out. At that time... What? What? What is happening? Maybe because I had driven up onto a curb or something. Just that moment I wound up ramming the rear. That gary sound was the nasty sound of the body scraping. However, there wasn't time to worry about that. I drove out onto the road in front of us. While rubbing my chest, which was almost out of breath, I drove silverly along the now totally dark road. I was a bit worried about the spot that was hit before, but for now, getting away from the place had priority. Okay, let's finish this for now. I hope you enjoy, and see you in the next one.